serious allegations of animal cruelty against Australia's largest dairy company, including eye gouging of cows and the use of claw hammers to kill calves, have been repeatedly probed by Tasmania's Biosecurity Agency. However, its boss told a parliamentary estimates hearing that he was not aware of any complaints. Key points. VDL, founded in 1825, was bought by Moon Lake Investments in 2016. Documents obtained under right to information laws reveal internal emails detailing allegations and investigations at VDL's operations. Despite being a recipient of internal emails regarding the allegations, Biosecurity's head told Parliament he was not aware of any complaints at VDL. The ABC can reveal the allegations, some dating back as far as May 2016, were made against Van Diemen's Land Company's VDL dairy business and investigated by the Tasmanian Department of Primary Industries, Parks, Water and Environment (DPIPWE). It comes after the ABC recently reported the company, purchased in 2016 by Chinese businessman Liu Shengfeng's Moon Lake Investments, was facing a staff mutiny over serious animal welfare and safety concerns. The most disturbing allegations were made on October 25, 2017 by someone identified as having previously worked on the property. In an email exchange, obtained under right to information legislation, the complainant is noted as allegedly witnessing eye gouging cows. He saw one with its eyeball displaced. A vet is to be called to come and remove the eye completely. The complainant also alleged breaking of tails by bending them to force cows. An inventory was done by a female worker and the identified number was of about 50. With broken and injured tails by rough handling, DPIPWE inspectors carried out an inspection of the property following the complaint but did not find any evidence of any widespread animal cruelty, although about 10 cows were identified as having broken tails. A VDL employee said the injuries were sustained under a previous owner. A complaint received by the department on March 6, 2019 alleged 400 to 500 calves had no bedding and were placed in a shed on gravel. Biosecurity head, not aware. Despite emails in response, the department said that accusation was unsubstantiated, and after a visit to the properties in April this year, the same inspector commented in an email on April 18 that, overall, the cattle looked in good health and had very good body condition score. When the general manager of DPIPWE's Biosecurity Tasmania, Lloyd Clump, was questioned in Tasmanian parliamentary estimates on June 6, 2019 about whether there were animal welfare concerns at VDL's farm, he responded, "I am not aware of a complaint around Van Diemen's Land." Dr. Clump told the estimates hearing, "There may well be complaints, but I am not aware of them. I can't talk about individual investigations while they are happening." However, emails show that Dr. Clump was emailed a copy of the October 2017 complaint by his department, with the subject line, "Animal cruelty complaint about Van Diemen's Land." In a statement, a DPIPWE spokesperson said Dr. Clump's answer was provided in the context that there are hundreds of complaints received by the agency each year. For example, there were 289 complaints received in 2018 alone. While some complaints have been made in relation to VDL, these have been followed up and no evidence of breaches of the Animal Welfare Act were found during these inspections. The email that Dr. Clump was copied in was in relation to following up allegations made in 2017, where no evidence was found of breaches of the Animal Welfare Act. Tasmanian Greens leader Cassie O'Connor called on Dr. Clump and Biosecurity Tasmania to take action. "We need to know there's a thorough root and branch inspection and investigation of VDL. We want Biosecurity Tasmania to do its job," she said. "We want them there conducting unannounced visits, and being really transparent about what they find." The Greens have partnered with independent Senator Jackie Lambie and independent Lower House MP Andrew Wilkie in a new motion in the Senate that calls upon the federal government to compel Moon Lake to invest the outstanding amount of the promised $100 million into VDL farms by the 31st of July 2020. In 2016, Moon Lake paid $280 million for the Van Diemen's Land Company, after then-Treasurer Scott Morrison approved the foreign investment, with the Chinese company pledging to invest $100 million and create an additional 95 local jobs, but Mr. Liu recently admitted that neither of those undertakings had been fulfilled. We have a totally unacceptable situation in Tasmania and in this country where we have foreign investment laws that aren't worth the paper they're written on, Green Senator Peter Whish-Wilson said. It's totally unacceptable to all Australians and all Tasmanians that we can have a government that refuses to enforce the conditions that they put on the purchase of a Tasmanian farm that's supposed to be in the national interest. Lambie, Wilkie, Greens unite in Senate. Motion. Federal MP Andrew Wilkie rejected claims that retrospectively making undertakings enforceable would potentially scare off future foreign investors from making purchases. What this does is it sends a clear signal to companies, to foreign investors, that if they're going to come into our country they need to abide by our laws, they need to honor their promises, and if they don't honor the promises they've made, they'll be held to account, he said. Ms. Lambie said the pressure was now on Labour, and particularly its Shadow Agriculture Minister Joel Fitzgibbon, to support the motion. I certainly think it would be in the best interest of Labour, and Joel himself, to get behind this and support it. It comes down to our national security, to our food security. That's what it comes down to, and we're not putting up with it. On its website, VDL states it is committed to ensuring that not only do we comply with our legal obligations with regard to animal welfare, but that we will adopt best practice in respect of animal welfare. Any breach of Tasmanian government animal welfare laws and Australian government livestock transport standards, or failure to treat animals humanely, is completely unacceptable to our business. This policy is not simply concerned with ensuring the absence of cruelty and disease. We have an obligation and a requirement to